So, originally, as I had repeatedly said, I planned on using an outline to talk about this. And then I realized something. Like, between the 25th and New Year's. You guys aren't worth the effort of an outline. I have too much value in myself to put in this much effort to try proving shit to assholes like you. I'm saying this for me, just like those first two were. I'm burning bridges, some of which aren't even my own bridges to burn, and I don't care anymore. What I'm doing is I'm saying as much as I can, and I'm going to do my best to do it right. I know I'm going to be hated after this. I'm hated right now. There's nothing that'll change that. But you guys are all so awful. I saw through some of it, and now I see through most of it, and you guys hate me because you can't control me as easily. Whether it's Taffy, or M.A., or Nil, who can't influence me to be like him. Whatever the case, guess what? I'm not your puppet. So, let me get something out of the way. The apologies I actually do need to say. First, Fly. I figure you're probably watching this now that it's out. I'm sorry about my constant miscommunication. That one's on me. I kept miscommunicating that you were asked to be a spy, rather than VB considered asking you to spy on me. That's on me for miscommunicating that repeatedly. You were never a spy. I never intended accusing you of being a spy. The fact I accidentally worded things to make it imply that, I'm sorry about that. I just, no way around that. Sorry about that, Fly. And Temper. On the off chance you're seeing this, which could hit your radar sometime, I'm sorry about spreading that image that M.A. sent to me. I was trying to prove Nekopon is a predator. I took a screenshot thinking it was legal because it was censored, and made a mistake of fact on what counted as something that should not be spread or even owned. I only say that because YouTube hates certain words. Otherwise, I'd be much more direct. Whatever the case, Temper, if it actually caused you harm or distress or anything of the sort, that I put it into that folder and shared it to a few people and the Harley server, I'm sorry about that. But anyone who is saying I put it in the Anime America server is either misinformed, such as Nil, or an absolute fucking liar, like M.A. I never sent that folder to the Anime America server. I only put the Project Nekopon playlist in there. And the fact that M.A. manipulated Fry to talk to the admins of the Anime America server to get me banned from there. M.A., you are scum, and that right there was proof that you actually do want to enable Nekopon on some level. If only anecdotal. Now, let's talk about some shit, shall we? M.A., you claim that what I do is I don't respect victims. I was trying to spread word on a groomer. Have her caught, so that way she couldn't hurt any more kids. You know, like Shadowcraft. And what proceeded to happen was because you stifled me spreading the word on her. Directly and with your own people that you manipulated to do that for you. Because you can't do the dirty work yourself. Like a fucking coward. She was able to groom another kid. Odds are she's grooming another boy right now. Because you stopped the word of her being spread. And you stopped her from taking a proper downfall. I wanted the victims to know they weren't alone. But that's apparently not in your repertoire, M.A. You were more concerned with just not letting evidence be shown than actually stopping a predator from being exposed. I get it. The victim's feelings do matter in this. But what you do is you stop the problem first and then help the casualties. If there is a fire, what do you do first? Tend to the wounded or put out the fire so it doesn't spread? Anyone can tell you, if they have any ability to reason, you stop the fire first. Then you handle the wounded. This is trauma. Fires themselves create their own form of trauma. You stopped people from putting out the fire only to end up creating more wounded. That is what your methods did, M.A. Now, let's talk about something else. Mark, you have no room to bitch about me saying VB's given name to you once in a DM. Because realistically, why? What purpose would having her given name hold? Unless, she's guilty of something, like her panicking against and attacking Lena suggested. Especially since the day before, the actual day before, I only found this out recently because I figured, screw it, I need to look at the Twitters of these assholes. Just so that way I can figure anything out. See what they're saying about me. Yeah. The day before, you gave my mental health doc to M.A. Or at least the day before, M.A. admitted you gave my mental health doc to him. You doxed me. That's what you did, Mark. You doxed me. That was private information that should not and was not allowed to be shared. I did not permit it to be shared publicly. So, congratulations, Mark. You doxed me, and you have no room to give me shit for doxing VB, as you put it, because I said her given name once. And then there's you, M.A. You doxed me as well by showing information in that mental health doc without my permission. Whatever the snippet was. You, VB, and Mark have no room to judge me when, Nil, you have broken your own ethical code. When people talk about their mental health struggles, you said you don't keep the information on them. You shared that information. Lena shared with me a group chat. One that she's in. And by proxy would have permission to share the information on because of VB living in a separate country and thus any information in that group chat being one-party consent. So, yeah, Nil, by all accounts, our chats count as one-party consent as well, because we're two different countries. But if by your standards, Lena doxed VB to me, then you doxed me as well, Nil. But, rules for thee, not for me. That's how you guys work, right? Everyone has to follow all the rules, be the best people possible. But you guys don't. You guys don't have to follow any standards. Why? Why don't you guys hold yourselves to the same standards that you hold myself, or anyone associated with me? Like how November 20th of 2021, mind you, since everything's been happening in 2021. Back on November 20th, VB, MA, you harassed Fry, who is 16 years old, to a point of literal tears. This was after several instances of you two making references to some messed up idea of a sexual set of interactions between myself and him. No. So, that's a minor you sexually harassed and sexualized in the process. Which, that is disgusting. That is just utterly disgusting. You made it so that way a minor was implied to be sexual with me. Even as a joke. That is disgusting. Not even Family Guy does that shit all the time. Like, yeah, Family Guy delves into disgusting humor, such as incest and such. But at the same time, it tends to have a tone where sexualizing minors is still wrong. Even if it's played for laughs. And then there's what you said, VB, to me directly, about how supposedly when I get stressed, I have intrusive thoughts of grooming and shit like that. No, that's not what it is. Those intrusive thoughts didn't start until I was months, and I do mean literal months, into abuse. They started when I was heavily exposed to Necopon. December of 2020. They stopped when a little while after Taffy and I cut contact. Or rather, Taffy cut frequent contact with me. In, I want to say, autumn of 2021. And something weird with me. This is something y'all should take with a heavy grain of salt. But on some scale, I seem to have some subconscious ability to read minds, or something resembling it. As such, when I am in real-time direct exposure to someone, consistently, for any period of time, whether with the bare minimum being over a voice call, what happens is I will apparently pick up some traces of their thoughts, even if they're not like my own. This happened recently when I made that note that was meant to be misread as a suicide note. It was functionally meant to be a surrender. It was meant to be me making it known that you guys couldn't, you guys won. I was letting you guys know, you guys won. You killed Mongrel as a persona for me. You killed that screen name for me. I was letting you guys know that. If it was misread as a suicide note, the idea was to make it so that way you assholes realized what kind of harm you could have done to someone else, someone more mentally vulnerable. But you guys don't care if someone's mentally vulnerable. You guys only care about seeming like you're right. You're disgusting. All of you. You're the most disgusting of them all, M.A. Because, and Taffy, this is where I'm gonna burn your bridge. Hate me all you want. Run my name into the ground and curse my name for all I care. Because I'm talking about what you told me about Furby and his interactions with M.A. But a little bit of backstory first. I could have connected these puzzle pieces myself, it was that obvious. At one point, Furby talked to me, and he told me that someone was messing with his head and manipulating him into thinking I was a worse person than I actually am, and to avoid me. And then, pretty much the next day, before I ever made any such accusations, M.A. tried to defend himself against accusations from me saying that he manipulated my friends not to talk to me. I never accused you of that before that day, M.A. Even though, actually, get this, before Furby talked to me, Taffy told me about what Furby had said to him. Furby told Taffy that you manipulated him, M.A., into not talking to me again, or into having a poor opinion of me. Odds are, that's why my friends still haven't come back. Is it cool that I'm just outing this whole thing? No, it's not. Do I care? I can't afford to care anymore. I just can't care about any of your feelings, any of you being pissed off at me. You know why? Because none of you ever cared about me. Taffy, I'm fairly certain at this point, the biggest reason that you decided to cut contact with me was because, one, you got bored with me or annoyed or something else, and two, the other possibility, you realized I wasn't as easy to manipulate as you thought, so you just decided to cut your losses and just not deal with me anymore. And you used the surrender note, the defeated note, as your way of excusing that. Because for a while we were talking a lot, and then we weren't. And it's weird. When you were talking to me less, Furby wasn't talking to me at all. And I'm gonna be absolutely honest. With the way your boyfriend is, Maury, with the way Junkie is, with what Jar has said, and other people even, maybe at least one of whom I'm friends with now, I have every reason to believe you are just as much scum as Junkie is, Maury. Because even evil people can have loved ones. Evil doesn't mean incapable of love. That is something very important to know. Evil means refusing to do good. Let's talk about something else. M.A., it is obvious you do not respect Joon. I don't know how VB feels about Joon. I suspect it's the same way, because M.A., you and VB are functionally the same person. It's just VB is the one that actually bothers to talk. Meanwhile, you try to make petty strikes and act like you're the winner because you sapped off of other people's work. without putting in any real effort of your own. Honestly, what's wrong with all of you? So, and then there's that thing of, hey, you are trying to hold my intrusive thoughts of grooming against me. When I've repeatedly stated, I do not act on those. I refuse to act on those ideas because they are not mine. Well, not necessarily not mine in a sense of they are not me. They do not define me. Meanwhile, Nil made and has admitted to having made full-on plans to murder his family. His little sisters, his mom, Nil made entire plans of that stuff. No one's giving him any shit for it. And here's the thing. That story of the 15-year-old on Omegle who flirted with me at one point, that was to help highlight that regardless of my intrusive thoughts, I still will not groom someone when given what would be for Nekopon a prime opportunity, or any other groomer. Fuck, Onision would be obsessed with the idea and fucking love it. I was disturbed, genuinely disturbed, that a 15-year-old flirted with me when I was, I want to say 23 back then? Yeah, I was 23 actually. A 15-year-old, so she would be 17 now, flirted with me when I was 23. I was disturbed by that. Someone on Reddit gave me a possible thought that is so helpful to my own mental well-being of what the other situation might have been, where it was someone who was used as predator bait, essentially. And what happened was, said predator bait would have ended up, breaking character for a moment and then having to snap back into character. And I'm really hoping that this was a situation of someone who was being the part of predator bait and was an actual adult that flirted with me. That is what I deeply hope at my core. But, that doesn't matter to you. What matters are thought crimes. Thought crimes I never wanted to act on and never have acted on. But, logic is dead. Let me pull up WebMD. Read directly from it. I will read directly from WebMD on what intrusive thoughts are. Couple paragraphs. It's easy to find. First result on Google even. First 2.5 paragraphs. Have you ever had an unwanted thought or image stuck in your head? Usually you can ignore it and move on. But sometimes it just keeps popping right back up. You don't want to have these sticky, uncomfortable thoughts, so why do they happen to you? They're called intrusive thoughts, and nearly everyone has them from time to time. I repeat, nearly everyone has them from time to time. So, that's your brother, your sister, your mom, your dad, your best friend, your girlfriend, your ex, you, probably. Everyone. They can range from random images to disturbing and violent ideas like punching someone in the face or hurting yourself. Gee, I wonder what can range into the disturbing aspect. An idea of, the fucked up idea of grooming kids, and even though you would never do that. Let's read that next half a paragraph. They're usually harmless, but if you obsess about them so much that it interrupts your day-to-day life, they can be a sign of underlying mental health problems. Do you know what an underlying mental health problem counts as? Or what's included in that category, I should say? PTSD, trauma, abuse, shit like that. I'm not saying someone who's abused will always have those intrusive thoughts. I'm saying they're more common. Now let's skip a little bit down to types of intrusive thoughts. First one listed, sexual thoughts. It's natural to often have sexual thoughts, no matter your gender. When you feel uncomfortable with or shocked by such thoughts, you may fixate on them and try hard to push them away. Experts say it's best to remind yourself that these are just passing automatic thoughts. They don't define you in any way! This is WebMD. I'm not using it to diagnose shit. I'm using it to explain medical facts, psychological ones at that. So, yeah, those fucked up thoughts do not define me in any way. I'm getting real fucking sick of you guys trying to frame me as a fucking pedo. Especially when, by your own criteria, MA, with the things you listed that call me one, you're one yourself. You know, sharing the temper image in particular. Which you've done more times than me, I think. From what Fry said, you've repeatedly done it to different group chats. If Fry said you did it in multiple servers, I don't remember, but I wouldn't be surprised. Who have you... Because you've shared that to a lot of people, MA, haven't you? More than what I did. Sure, I fucked up, but when I was alerted that what I did was, 1, illegal, and 2, very readily enabling problematic people, I immediately went to try to fix it. Look at that. I tried to actually use my brain to fix a problem. The one that you guys were bitching at me to fix when you had already fixed it. And then, with you, VB, you get a kick out of abusing people when they fuck up. It's obvious. You hide behind text, making it seem like you're angry. But really, you secretly enjoy when people screw up and you get to harass them and berate them. You did it with myself, and you did it with Lena when she showed me your legal name, when she was showing me that group chat. Why were you freaking out so much, VB? Because, I'm gonna be real, the way you were freaking out is almost like you have a guilty conscience. Sort of like how MA does. Here's the thing, I don't attack people's family. At most, I'll contact the family to try seeing if those people can reason with an asshole, with their own family. That's why I tried to talk to Vi when Mark was pulling his big stunt. Mark, the one where you were saying it was all you that did the harassment and shit, that you were the source of it, all because you were pissed off that Neil had a crush on me. Really? And then you said it was all a joke, that you were all playing it up, and you laughed at how gullible I was. So, by that extent, there are 3 main possibilities. And I say main because there are technically other ones that I probably can't think of right now. First possibility. You knew I was gullible. You took advantage of that to further abuse me, mentally especially. And then you laughed about it with everyone else. That is you getting your rocks off to abusing someone. Second possibility. You knew I was mentally ill. Because I believe I have been on record saying I have psychosis. Legitimate psychosis is something I've been diagnosed with. And I actually struggle with that shit. I'm not going to go into that detail of that here because it doesn't matter much. The problem is, it's known I have psychosis. It's known I have mental health issues. And Mark took advantage of that, if that's what the intent was. Third one. This is the big one. You knew I was desperate to prove I'm not a monster, to prove I'm not as problematic as MA is obsessively trying to make me out to be. And I know this is you, MA, because you defend yourself from so many things before I even do them. I contacted your boyfriend once. And then you just got worse. And here's the thing. I contacted him after the first time you accused me of contacting him. You did that twice, remember? You did it the first time because you were lying to me. Oh, rather, lying about me. You just decided to lie about me. Because I told you no on setting Lily Lake up to get backstabbed by Ray. Because I was the only one in that group chat that really actually knew and recognized and spoke up, knowing he'd fuck her over. Because he has no conscience. You didn't care, though. You wanted to force me out of the group. And then, continually have me harassed to a point of mental fatigue where I was desperate to be heard and speak up and expose a predator. Why would you stifle that? Okay? My big thing was contacting other people. Establishing communication, shit like that. That was what my big thing was, because I don't have much video editing skills, and I don't have any immediate connections. So my big thing was, we find a lead, I contact that lead and ask them about their take, see if they can help. Okay. So why was I not helpful when I was the one that first publicly spoke up about Nekopon? Yeah, fine. I shouldn't have let her on that stream that time. But because of what I did, she has admitted to having drawn actual child porn. And because of what I did, we got things to escalate to exposing her. And then after the Majesty video, you swooped in and just decided to have me mobbed and removed from the group forcefully. MA, I was better at exposing her than you were, and it pissed you off, clearly. You took advantage of someone. You decided to take advantage of the work I did with Nil and other people. Why? If I leech off of people's work, you're even worse, where you leech off of their success and then try to claim it as your own. So much so that when we had a truce, you attacked me anyways, even though I wasn't talking to you. I'll talk about that Amy Ray account now, because that does tie in a lot of your bullshit, MA. It shows you as a liar, shows you ready to backstab at a moment's notice. It shows you as someone just obsessed with demonizing people. You are deranged, MA. You make me look normal. That's not a good thing. Because here's what was going on. It had been quiet for a few weeks. I had taken some mental rest already. I had already been doing that for a while, because I knew my life was about to get busy for some reason or another, and I didn't know what entirely. I made that Amy Ray account. Why? Because I wanted to see what people would say about me behind my back. Through that Amy Ray account is when I actually saw that I was banned from Nil's server. Against Nil's wishes, mind you. At least at the time. So you're accusing me of ban evasion when that's not the case. I got in on that account and then learned I was banned. Because Nil can look back at our chats and he'll see that all the links to his server at one point got deleted. I don't remember why they were deleted, I just know that they were. So I had to ask him for a new link. And that's what I used with my alt account. A new link. That's when I learned about the ban. You accused me of ban evasion, which I've only done once on anything. So, congrats. Yeah. What? Like, what? Like, really? It's like, you just decided I was trying to backstab and connive and everything. You accuse me of so much, MA. Every time you accuse me of something at this point, I have every reason to believe that's what you are. Because that's what the evidence keeps pointing to. You either accuse me of saying that I'm accusing you of something, or you defend yourself, or you accuse me of being something that I'm not. You accuse me of talking to your boyfriend about you going behind his back, and basically cheating on him with how the establishment of your relationship worked. When I didn't do that. That was your guilty conscience talking. Did I care if you broke up with him? Or if he broke up with you, I should say? Not really. Not really. I just was pissed off on principle alone. Yeah, it was a matter of principle and ethics. That's why I told Alti. Sure, MA lying about me constantly did not stop anything, but the way Maury is stupid enough to just say I have a hate boner for MA is remarkable, to say the least. Finally, tension release. So, okay. And then MA accuses me of being a pedophile, when I've expressed quite the opposite, actually. You think I actively wanted to touch kids? Did you really think that? No! I don't. You skipped over 3 entire sections of that mental health doc. These ones I'm more than comfortable actually talking about on a public forum. Because first of all, that won't be doxing. Me talking about those first 3 and everyone, elaborating on them, or rather speaking on them themselves, fine. The common earliest. Common earliest, second common earliest, and third common earliest. I'll touch on all of those now. And those ones, okay, feel free to talk about them in a light that isn't about attacking, but reading them verbatim. Those are the ones that, fine, you can talk about them. Do not hypothesize, because that is very easily going to dip you into slander and libel and defamation of all sorts of kinds, which is what you've been doing, MA. You have been committing slander and libel by accusing me of being a manipulator in a call. You've accused me of being a pedophile over text multiple times, something I only implied with you, by your own criteria, mind you. So, yeah, if what I'm doing is defamation, you're doing it to a far more extreme degree. Got that, Mark? MA is accusing me of being a pedophile when... Oh, yeah. There is no proof. There's actually evidence to the contrary. So, don't accuse me of defaming MA, because I said he might be. MA himself is trying to declare me as one. Openly. On Twitter even. So, no. I'm not committing defamation. Your shitty little friend there is. The friends that are too scared to show their own fucking faces and still sexually harassed me. So let's talk about those early signs. Urges to start wandering. Looking down the road and wanting to start to walk, seeing how far I can get before I cave. Usually I look to the left. Which, oh look at that. That was removed. Yeah, that was removed. So, this doc that you guys have, the copy of it, is edited. It might not even be accurate with the other things you say. Forgetfulness. Something that's a symptom of depression, which I probably have. Or a symptom of gaslighting, which I have definitely gone through. Let's see. Main sign, NSFW and TMI. Fluctuation in desired experiences. And my explicit search habits change. Yeah, let me elaborate on that. The last time those habits changed was when I was around Nekopon, and what I looked up was that kink I have that you guys have sexually harassed me over. That is the only major change that's happened in those kinds of searches. Which, again, why harass someone, even as a joke, over a kink? Of all fucking things that you guys have. At least give Nil credit on this. He's trying to use my appearance instead of my interests that, don't harm anyone. Let's see. Yes, and then the next common earliest one. A lack of absurdist or straight-edge humor or otherwise negative statements attempted to be played for laughs. This is actually, messed up. There's a lot that got messed up in this transcription. Yikes, this is bad grammar. What, did Ray retype this? How Ray tried to frame me as someone responsible for a murder? Or, sorry, let me rephrase. Ray tried to act like I was responsible for someone's suicide of an international student. What? What? No. I prevent suicides. YouTube's going to have a full tantrum at this point. I don't care about the words anymore. Let's see. Urges of violence or actively degrading language. Let's see. Let's see. That's internal. Where it's me having thoughts of someone imploding or outwardly physically attacking them. Let's see. Common earliest, visible. Overprotectiveness of other people. Gee, it's not like I was overprotective of someone without reasonable cause in Nil's server. G. By the way, I will be talking about that incident with G later, because everyone seems to obsess over what the question was, but never the context. And never the fact that it was a consenting interaction between two adults, and we were totally fine with it at the time. And then, expressive, swiftly defensive behavior. Let's see, possible rambling, usually verbal defensiveness, immediately saying sorry, like an abuse victim would. You guys don't care that I'm a victim of shit. You guys don't actually care about victims. You care about someone who you can say doesn't care about victims, so that way you can demonize whoever you decide your boogeyman of the season is. Or year, in this case. Semester, I don't fucking care. And then the third common signs, which you also skipped over. Aggressive behavior towards those who have not wronged me. Do you know what that entails? Being ready to snap at people I actually care about. Okay? Actually shouting at them and shit. Gee, something very much not like me. And then, expressive, inappropriate or sexual humor where it doesn't belong. Which I did not have, in Nil's server especially. The last time I had any such behavior of that was in Nekopon's server. That was over a year, that was actually 10 months ago now. That was way back at the beginning of 2021. And then I had to lie and save face on that anyways. So, yeah. Nah, if I make messed up humor in Cards Against Humanity, that's not the point to stress. But the thing was, if you notice my behavior in Nil's streams, I did my best not to make any sexual jokes because I knew kids were watching. Or minors in that case. Why? Because I don't want to make sexual humor around minors. That's just not something I'm comfortable with. It's almost like I have standards. Do not say or do sexual shit around someone I know is a minor. I made one sexual reference around Fry ever and deleted it when he told me he was a minor and then never did that shit again. Gee, I wonder if that's proof I'm not a fucking pedophile. But no, you guys skipped to the red flags, acting like that was the only thing in there in your tweets, MA. Or the red alerts, which none of those are worth talking about. None of those are allowed to be talked about. I do not give permission to talk about that shit. I didn't give permission to this deck being shared at all. Oh, right! You guys ignored the fucking triggers! The actual psychological triggers that would push me into this shit. Let's see. Relaxation plays a part in this. It's technically a late stage if I'm in a stressful or unhealthy environment and become relaxed. This will result in me becoming a toxic person in general. Again, stressful or unhealthy environment. Like an abusive household. A household I was abused in for over a year. Let's see. Exposure to a toxic person or people on a frequent basis. This does not mean someone I may talk to online a lot, but it more seems directly related to physically being around someone. Frequency in being around a vulgar, crass, rude, or otherwise undesirable person will result in me picking up behaviors even if I don't like them. Again, abusive household. If you heard some of the shit that those roommates I had said, particularly one of them, you'd wonder how I didn't snap her fucking neck. Just because of how gross she was. Unapologetically, and even did it repeatedly, especially with all the abusive shit she did, the psychological in particular. Let's see, being verbally abused. Oh, look! Something that defined 2021 for me. Even fucking winter of 2020, let's be fucking real. Verbal abuse. Lack of those in lack of those in the environment I'm in as of writing that, assuming this is, properly copy and pasted, has highlighted that verbal abuse is what causes me to have these problems arise. Gaslighting, which is another form of abuse. Unlike what MA thinks, where apparently it's just an SJW term, according to him. Because MA is a fucking pansy that can't take criticism. Let's see. Yes, its own form of abuse will likely cause my memory getting worse. Even making me forget my own ethics in a sense. Gee! It's not like I was gaslighted. I mean, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna burn another bridge. Jaden! Your behavior involving Belle is stupid. You are the dumbest teenager I have ever met. I was highlighting issues that were involved with Belle, and then you were blaming me because I managed to talk to her. I'm sorry I didn't actually appease to your crush. of someone 3 years older than you. I'm sorry I didn't appease to that, your majesty, you little shit stain. But no, when I was in that server, yeah, that was me trying to get back at you on some level when I was calling out that stupid shit you were doing. Because from an outside perspective, you were being stupid and not listening to someone being reasonable. Like, fucking really? Fucking really, little girl? Whatever. Fine. I can't really knock the don't harass minors rule in that server that MA is basically running like a dictator now. But what I am going to knock is that you guys, even without proof of it being me, unless you count that me saying that to Nil and then playing it off as a joke, okay? Pretend that wasn't me. Because that is an important thing to think about. Pretend that was not me. What in the world would make you think attacking someone that might not be me is okay, just because they're associated with me? I don't send people to do my dirty work. If anything, I've actually told people not to defend me in those comments from those first 2 videos, which you guys flocked to really fast. Why did you guys flock to those videos so fast anyways? Like, pretty much the moment they dropped, and pretty much the moment this one drops, you guys are going to swarm it. Also, look through the comments. Notice someone that seems to be particularly absent from trying to defend themselves? It's MA. MA can't do work. MA can't put in any work to defend himself. Because he's a fucking coward. He's a lazy coward that will leech off of everyone else's success and then call himself great. It's not a joke, June. It's MA trying to be it's MA being a narcissist. You need to understand that MA doesn't respect you. He very clearly doesn't. Let's see, back on those triggers. Frequent degrading or otherwise rude comments directed at me. Hey, Fry. You know how MA was influencing you to harass me in DMs? Gee, not like that wasn't triggering. I'm not blaming you, Fry. This isn't your fault. I mean, I'll give you shit for compromising what was meant to be my escape account where I could start a new online identity of Bloom Grayshield. I will give you shit for that one, because you should not have given that out, regardless of how upset you were with me. But no, you gave that out. But no, that harassment that you caused, MA, because it is your fault, regardless of Fry's actions, you influenced Fry to harass me. That's obviously going to fuck someone up. Let's see. Yes, the requirements on this are shaky, but this relates to who I'm around physically a lot, apparently. Which, what I thought at the time. Both abusers who triggered my toxicity made my being a vegetarian one of their targeting points. Or being called a garbage person repeatedly. But also, both had consistently treated me like I'm an asshole for no reason. Which leads to the next thing. Being projected onto negatively. When I'm around abusive people, they'll frequently project themselves onto me for some reason. At first, seeing me reminds them of their own shitty behavior, but then they move on to accusing me of being like them, and it escalates to them acting like I exhibit their active behaviors. This loops back into the gaslighting, which is how I forget my own values. Long story short there, the people who will abuse me the fastest and target me are the narcissists. A narcissist or a pedophile will be the fastest people to try framing me as a monster or as some other problem. Trying to tear me down to build themselves up. That's what you did, MA. I can almost guarantee at this point you're a narcissist. That's an accusation I'm making first. That one I'm comfortable making. Let's see. Oh, yes, lack of safety and security. Pretty self-explanatory. If you don't feel safe, you don't feel secure, you're going to act a bit erratically, trying to lash out and keep yourself safe. Constant criticism and nitpicking at my behavior. This is the trickiest to elaborate on. Okay, you know what? I'm going to explain. I can take criticism. What I can't take is acting like everything I do is either pointless or wrong or stupid or otherwise a bad thing, instead of actually talking with me about things. There's a reason that Nil was the last one I actually hated out of all of you assholes. Nil bothered to have discussions, even when he didn't like me. After he was done harassing me in the spring alongside Ray, Nil was fine having discussions with me. I could take criticism. I could be reasoned with. M.A., you refuse to reason with anyone. Same with you, VB. You didn't even do a reasonable thing of saying, I don't feel comfortable talking to you. No, you tried to avoid me and dodge any interactions I wanted to have with you, one-on-one. Why? Because M.A. didn't like me? You're a coward, VB. Either that, or you're just M.A.'s little puppet. Whatever the case, you're a fucking moron. Oh yeah, abuse in the disguise of jokes. Do I need to elaborate on what that is, or do you guys actually have the brain power to do that? Let's see. False labeling and imagery aimed at me. I get labeled as an asshole improperly, I'll become one to the people labeling me as one. Shocker. If I grow more toxic, light hurts me less. Let's see, I'll grow to be a daytime person instead of a nighttime person. That's kind of changing at this point. I'll become more lazy as my depression rises. I'll want to abandon everyone who's upset with me, likely due to being abandoned before and wanting to rip the figurative bandage off. My hunger will fluctuate, meaning I'll either be constantly starved or not hungry at all, in a real fucked up way. Let's see, yes. Yeah, these are symptoms at this point. Let's see. Yeah. I was trying to do this shit to give my friends, people that were supposed to care about me, tools to help handle me. Because mental health is damn near impossible to get help for in America. I was trying to give my friends the tools that they could use to put me in check and make sure I didn't fuck up and hurt anyone. That's what friends do. They look out for each other. I was looking out for everyone in Star Giant's server for months. And then I got fucked over by Necopon. And abandoned by all of my friends. At this point, just because of the way things are, Star Giant, you are a 50-50 as far as I see of being someone who decided to lie to my face that night, as well as your staff. And here's the thing. I'm willing to talk to all of your staff. The fact everyone is scared of me. Why? I don't attack first. I really don't. So, why are you all scared of me? Okay? I'm gonna have to drop this seriousness for a moment and actually make things sound funny. Anyone who gets to know me, after hearing all those rumors about me, what you realize is, when you actually bother to get to know me, you realize I am an absolute fucking goober. Maybe not a goofy goober, but I'm still a fucking goober nonetheless. Because someone who I am friends with, she is one of the sweetest people I've met. And with her, she and I do talk a lot. I'm not going to say I have romantic feelings for her, because it's a weird mixed bag with her, because we've talked about the subject a little bit, but to my knowledge there is no active interest between the two of us that's being expressed. That's to my understanding. Regardless, when she got to know me, she realized what I actually am like at my core. She realizes I'm just a fucking goober. I'm not a threat. I'm not a monster. I'm not going to sexually harass people. I'm just a goober. But let's talk about one of the bigger things of sexual harassment accusations aimed at me. And I'll give the context now. Monster Prom. In Star Giant's server, we were trying to play a game of Monster Prom. We never got through a proper game of it, sadly. But we were trying to play Monster Prom, and there were some comments that were being made. And I made a joke that someone is a virgin confirmed. I said that as a joke, and, well, there was a small interaction that prompted me to ask her that. Whether she was one or not didn't matter to me. And if she said she didn't want to say whether she was or not, I would have just accepted that, because it doesn't matter if someone's a virgin. I asked it out of curiosity because of the topic at hand, and I asked it in DMs primarily. Like, it was a passing thing in the group chat that was going, in the voice call, or in the voice chat that was going on, where it's like, where she gave an answer, and I'm like, oh, really? Okay. Then I asked again in DMs, and there we had it. She just told me. And the reason I'm keeping it vague is because the answer doesn't matter. What matters is the context of the question. Even then, she made a first move on me. Like, that's the big thing. She was the one that made an advance towards me first. I reciprocated interest. And just, why? Why are you guys so obsessed with taking anything I do, cherry-picking the context, and then using it to demonize me? I could actually say there was something good Hitler did in his life, and all of you would just lunge to the fact that I said Hitler did anything good. Which, that at that point, it would be left so vague that people would just come to the most horrible conclusions. When the thing I was saying that Hitler did that was right was being a vegetarian. Shocker! I have something in common with Hitler. Oh, look, you're going to take that out of context now. That's what you do, MA. You take something that looks bad out of context, cherry pick it, remove the context, and then use it to your own advantage to attack someone else. At this point, I'm questioning. With Box of Fox, Nani, and Majesty. Were they really neglectful about Nekopon grooming someone in their respective server areas? Like, were they actively ignoring that even though they knew it was going on? Or did they ban her from their servers, or server, I don't know how many there were, and then just not do anything else in the matter? Because by all accounts, I could see you doing that, MA. Framing it as though they were neglectful of the situation. By all accounts, I will say that they should have done something to expose her. Announcements and shit like that. And maybe tried to help Ulti in some way. But, no. Like, I've seen proof that Junkie was defending Nekopon actively at one point. But I've been asked not to share that. And I'm still debating whether or not I should. I'm probably not going to, because with that person in particular, he had heard so many rumors about me that he thought I was going to be offensive and attacking him when I wasn't. I was actually civil with him, much to his surprise. That's the thing. I'm decent with people who communicate. I will actually talk to you. I will be reasonable when you show me reason. But that's not what it is. And if I don't act reasonable when I'm mistreated, then suddenly, by all accounts, what the fuck? Then suddenly it's like I'm the bad guy because I'm not taking being disrespected. Or I'm not taking being manipulated, if I can help it. And here's the thing. If you think yourself immune to manipulation, you are the most vulnerable person ever to that shit. I learned that the hard way last winter. So, yeah. Let me actually grab the proper doc. You know, the original that I still have. Because why shouldn't I? That might be necessary for some context. Let's see. That's the one I made as a decoy to mess with you assholes. Or rather, mess with those assholes. Let's see. No. This it? No, that's a script. That was a curse I made. Yeah, shocker, I dabble in curses. Gee, it's almost like there's someone I actually had to put in the effort to fucking curse. Because you don't need faces to curse someone. Let's see here. Yes, the text that I blacked out, the NSFW text, that was meant for only friends who are adults and moderators and servers I'm in to see. Let's see here. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was actually edited very poorly in a lot of different ways. Let's see. Oh, yeah, the bloody noses. That's the biggest... that's the red flag that's, a bodily issue. Stressed, caffeinated, and in dry environments. It will cause me a bloody nose. Let's see. Yeah. There are... It's like someone edited that whole thing. Let's see. There was one part of it that I wrote, but kind of... Oh, wait, maybe it's... Ah, yeah. Yeah, that's there, but... Let's see. Because there is something I edited, so that way the text is only visible when it's highlighted. Not even blacked out, but it has to be properly, fully highlighted. Let's see if it's actually in this other one. Because... Oh, shocker. It actually manages to be in there. But, it doesn't matter. None of anything I do matters. I could show the most airtight case in my favor for all of this, and you'll still try to cherry pick me as a liar, or try to cherry pick some random bit of information to attack me over. It doesn't matter to you how much effort I put into proving my innocence. I'm still the bad guy according to you, and you'll convince people of such as long as they listen. When I was daring you to have Jar talk to me, that wasn't me saying I want to talk to Jar. That was me saying I dare you to have anyone on your side listen to my side directly from me. That's what you guys refuse to do. You refuse to let people listen to me if you can help it. Just like Nekopon did to you guys when Furby first heard about the situation and talked to you guys. I'll admit, you guys did the right thing getting him away from them. And that's a good thing. And I'll be real. I would rather have never had met Furby through her at all than to have met him through her and him to have been traumatized. Why? Because I'd rather him have been mentally well. I would rather have had my friends be mentally well than have them be traumatized, and me having met them at all through her. That's the big thing with me. I care about my friends. I do my best to defend them. I do my best to stop the threats aimed at them, and you're framing me as a threat when I'm not. You guys don't care that I'm a threat or not. You care that you can keep stomping me down for your own sick kicks. You care about who you can stomp down next to establish some petty dominance. That is depressing. That is sad. That is pathetic. And it is a testament to how weak you actually are. You guys can't do anything as individuals. You all have to mob someone, gang up on them. Like what happened to Lindsay Ellis recently. How she got mobbed by people for one comment she made about a movie and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I didn't like her content personally. I found that she said a whole lot while saying nothing at all simultaneously. But my gods, would I never have wished that on her. She didn't deserve that. Anyone who says she did is delusional at best and deranged at worst, if not outright evil. So here's the thing. I dare you to have people talk to me. That is my challenge to you guys. Using my Discord tag specifically. You know, the Mongrel one that you guys still have. I dare you guys to have the people that you have told of how I'm either stupid or an evil manipulator or whatever. I dare you guys to have those people, scared of me, talk to me. Because I'm not going to abuse them. I don't abuse people. I will berate someone if they repeatedly fuck up and refuse to fix the situation. That's actually the biggest reason why I was talking to Fry the way I did. That was me trying to get a point across to him because he wouldn't listen to reason, to stop pulling the stupid shit he was doing. I thought it was his fault. I legitimately did. But when he told me that you influenced him, MA, that you're the one that had him do all that stuff, wow, that made it make so much more sense. Fry isn't a bad kid. He's a kid who's been through so much this year. You guys made it worse for him. You guys made it worse for that kid who was 16 for most of this. After he had already been groomed. I had to give him that reassurance that it's his call to be open about it. And actually talk to him. And let him know that there's nothing wrong with speaking up about it. And let him know that it's actually a good thing if he were to speak up, so that way victims would know they're not alone. You guys all try to declare me as a monster, an asshole, an abuser, an idiot, all sorts of things. But when it gets down to it, and you ask the people who actually know me personally, who haven't been manipulated by someone against me, what their legitimate opinions on me are, the worst they'll say is I'm annoying, or that they don't like me and they want to avoid me. That is the worst that happens with anyone's legitimate, actual, intelligent opinion on me from people who actually know me. And then there's that thing of just, it's always the people that are aligned with you guys that seem to think the worst of me. Either you guys or Nekopon. But you never actually bother to have asked the people who know me personally what their opinions of me are. I'll leave it at this. Yeah, I want to know your actual names. Specifically you, M.A. Not to contact people, but to even things out. It is not right that you know so much about me, but I don't know your face, and I don't know your legal name. And then you accuse me of trying to contact your family when I don't even have them. You accused me of trying to contact your family before, or rather, well, actually no, I think it might have actually been after I managed to talk to Vi. Which, Vi, you need an attitude check. I'm gonna be real. You played it off as you completely ignored, half the situation. And, Nil, you tried to make it seem like I was contacting her recently when I tried to contact her when Mark was pulling his stunt, and then she finally talked to me. You guys just don't know how to handle me. So you make everything up as you go. Now here's the thing. The final kicker of all of this. Nil, you are without a doubt the dumbest, most easily manipulated person I've met, and at this point I can only be convinced that at your core, you are a malicious sack of shit that gets your rocks off by abusing people, and you will abuse whoever is the easiest target for you to abuse. The only reason you're not abusing your family is because you won't get away with it. So you have to settle for harassing people online, like making a tweet about making a 25-year-old child mauled, in your own words, which, at that point, you're either harassing someone with a severe developmental delay, or some manner of developmental delay, you're harassing a mentally ill person, or both. Which, none of those are things that any reasonably mature person would do. Then there's you, M.A. You hold me to a standard that you constantly break. You are without a doubt the most evil person I have met who has not yet been revealed to be a pedophile. If you're a pedophile, I won't be shocked. If you aren't one, I still won't be shocked. It could be a 50-50 chance at this point. Whatever the case, M.A., I am better than you, and it pisses you off. Mark, the reason you're a fucking legal school dropout is because you're too incapable of being a good enough person to care about others. Or rather, to do the right thing. You can't be a lawyer because you can't be honest to save your life. Lying to my face about not even being in contact with Nil or M.A.'s crew anymore. You lied to my face about that, knowing I was desperate to try proving my innocence, to try being, separated from it all. All because I have issues with people that you consider friends. At this point, it's clear. M.A. is a fucking weakling. M.A. can't do anything on his own. And M.A., nice job faking a medical incident with that puking up blood from pure stress thing. How are those ulcers treating you? Actual ulcers which cause puking blood, not fucking stress. Whatever. VB, if you ever harass Lena again for any reason, then I'll be contacting your family. And you won't know. And you won't see my name until it actually happens. Do not harass Lena, you rank bitch. Because here's the thing. Fine, harass me. Do it in DMs. Whatever. But don't harass a scared kid who's already traumatized and trying to be better over something as petty as showing your given name. That was just disgusting, what you said to her. I would never threaten someone like that. You sick fuck. And to all of you, all 4 of you, stop harassing Fry. He and I aren't talking anymore because of the stunt he pulled and because he just doesn't want to talk to me anymore anyways. Seriously, stop harassing someone because you believe that we're associated or working together. It's disgusting, and it shows you have guilty consciences. I only told the truth about Amy Ray so Fry didn't stress himself out. Because you guys were making a bigger issue out of something that shouldn't have mattered at all. It really shouldn't have mattered. But you guys were so set on all of that. I see how long this is now. And there's still more. Taffy, you swooped in, snapped me to my senses about me not having actually been abusive to Nekopan, like she had gaslighted me into thinking. Cool. But then you talked to me in DMs a lot and said I could vent to you about anything. And then when I actually managed to try respecting your boundaries, because you didn't want to talk about that drama shit anymore. Oh, look at that. According to you, I didn't respect your boundaries? Really? And then you're trying to say a 2-year-old apologizes better than me? Here's the thing. An apology requires actual guilt. Actual feelings of guilt. Sincerity. I apologize when I mean it, like I did way back at the beginning of this video. Why? Because those people actually deserved an apology. You don't, Taffy. Because a lot of what you were doing, it just really is manipulative shit. And when you found out that I was going to be a lot more to keep in check than you were willing to put in the effort for, that's why you distanced from me. This is all my hypothesis, by the way. I could very easily be wrong and just be at a point where I've been abused so much that behaviors resembling that shit is just what I'm going to be seeing. That I will fully admit that. I could very easily be wrong. I don't care. Why? Because you yourself, Taffy, I don't think you can take criticism. Whatever. I already outed what you told me about Furby. I know that bridge is burned. And in this case, I actually hope your bridge with him is burned too. Why? Because I can't care. I'll actually find some manner of enjoyment knowing that if I'm being attacked and disrespected this much, that all of you are going to go down too. Whether it's Mori for being just as evil of a person as Junkie at her core, Taffy losing Furby because Taffy can't be bothered to be respectful and decent when I'm in a point of desperation and mental illness, where I had to actually make a note of my defeat so that worded so that way it would be misread as a suicide in a last-ditch effort to hopefully have it hit those assholes harassing me, what kind of shit their behavior could cause. You guys harassed me, and if I was anyone else, I might have actually been suicidal. I might have actually tried to do that to myself. Why? Oh, I don't know. Maybe it's because all my friends left me. Everyone abandoned me repeatedly. I got isolated because MA is manipulating my friends. Or was, I don't know. Oh, like how MA lied to Dar. Just up and lied, saying that that the Amy Ray account claimed that they were best friends. No! I never claimed that on the Amy Ray account. I only said that I got into contact with her on it. So, yeah. Oh, and MA, you're a fucking coward for reporting that account. Nice job. Nice fucking job reporting an account that I was using to contact Dar. And probably other people, too. Nice job being a coward to report that account to silence me. Is that what you wanted to do? Just silence me? That's actually what you've been doing this whole time. You've been doing your best to silence me. Make me seem not credible. Isolate any word of me being any word that I speak being spoken up. That's all you guys ever did. You did your best to silence me. Just like Nekopon did. You did your best to abuse me and manipulate me and harass me. Just like Nekopon and Ray. Tear me down, destroy me mentally. That was all you guys did. That's all you guys put in the effort to do with me. Just like Nekopon and Ray. Followed into... Oh, look at that. When I tried to go into Akumu's server, look at who attacked first. Look who was rude first. It was VB. You guys suck at making your boogeyman attack first. Or rather, letting your boogeyman attack first. Whatever. You know what? That's the problem with you guys. You guys will give me shit for everything I do. But the moment I try to call you guys out, you're saying I'm trying to deflect criticism or something, or act like what you did didn't happen, or if it was okay. Really? Really? When I did the same thing in the same circumstances, if I do something, it's not okay. But nah. Fry had, at one point, repeatedly brought up the reason Quagmire hates Brian to me, trying to frame me as Brian. When in that scene, I really am Quagmire, in that particular instance. And I keep dealing with constant sets of Brian. Just multiples of him. Y'all are too weak to handle someone on your own. You're too cowardly to do anything one-on-one. That's all it ever is. You guys can't do anything on your own. In my case, I don't do things on my own because I like to be social. And to add to that, I know that there are weaknesses I have that other people can make up for. I try to create a unit of functionality. You guys create mobs and witch hunts. That's all it ever is with you assholes. So, whatever. I'm done. There won't be a part 4 or 5. Why? You guys aren't worth the effort. This hour 30 that I just spent on here, this is the most effort you guys are getting, and I'm doing it for me. And honestly, it doesn't matter how much evidence I show in my favor. No one's going to listen. I'm doing this as my thing. I'm doing this for me. So you know what? Congratulations. You killed Mongrel. You harassed Mongrel to a point that the name is dead now. See you around. Get fucked.